Hello, my name is Marta. I'm very glad you're here. Thank you for spending time with me. This is a collection of all the different reading journals I've had throughout the years, and today I wanted to share the 2022 with you. So, this is my 2022 reading journal as well as 3/4 of this one, I want to say. So, let me set you up so we can do a flip through. Okay, here we are. So, these are the two journals I used for 2022. The end of this one is 2023, but let me show you. So this is volume 1, volume 2. I have here like a label to say what volumes they are, just for my own knowledge, even though I'm so familiar with them and I love them so much. I spend so much time on this, but let me show you. Look at them. They're holding for dear life. The spines are holding for dear life, but they're doing so well. I haven't had any issues with these journals. I've been using the same brand since 2022. I will change it in 2026, and I'm a little bit nervous because, again, these ones have done so good to me. The issue I'm having is that the pages are very thin, and I just want thicker pages. The brand that this is how it looks when it's not filled in. Like, I don't use this for anything in the end. I had a plan, but then it didn't really work. And this is the brand Lectrum 1917. I don't know how to properly pronounce. I'm pretty sure they're German, but this is the brand. And the size of this, let me check 1 second. Yeah, I'm pretty sure these sizes are A5. The one I have used for 2025, I've used 2 so far. Usually I use 2 every year. They are B5, and I will continue with the same size B5 for 2026. But yeah, let's open them up. So this is my very first reading journal, and it shows. So by that point I had just discovered booktube, and it took me down a rabbit hole of reading journals, and I wanted to try it myself. Maybe I have watched a few of them, but not a lot of them, and it really shows, just to set the tone. This journal, especially the beginning pages, look so different from my current reading journal, and that's completely fine. Like, I know there's a lot of people out there that are a little bit concerned or apprehensive about starting their own reading journal because they don't know how it's gonna look. And look, at the beginning, probably it's gonna look messy, but it's fine. Like, I look back fondly at these pages. I know I had fun as I was filling them, and I'm sure that when I show you now, they are gonna make me cringe a little bit, but it's not a criticism. I gave everything I had at the time. It's just that with time, I have evolved and I have found my own style, and this is my hobby. I've always wanted this to be fun, so I've never put a lot of pressure or expectations on myself. But let's start. But I want to preface saying that the first pages are a mess. So these titles are in Catalan. So Catalan is my first language. Catalan is a region of Spain. Catalonia actually is a region of Spain. And I decided to start this notebook, in Catalan because I live in England. At this point, I had been living in England for a few years, and I just wanted to touch base with my roots, if you want. And I realized that most of my time I was speaking English, and I kind of miss writing in Catalan. So I started in Catalan, and then that quickly changed because all of the books I read, or most of the books I read, are in English, and then I find it hard to journal about them. Anyway, this page is a list of the books I read the prior year, so in 2021, because I started going pretty hard on 2021, but I did not capture them, so I just wrote down all the ones I read. And this somehow, would you guess, like, this is the different star ratings for the books I read. So not a very efficient way, right, to show the rating, but it's fine. That's what I decided to go to. See, and here's the legend, and that's how you know the different books. It's not great. It is what it is. First page of my first ever reading journal. Then I have this page here, which is books that I want to buy. So I believe these were books that I had already read, but I did not own, and I wanted to own. I have Normal People now. I still don't have We Were Liars. Verity, I have changed my mind anyway. Like, I don't want it anymore. Lovely Word, don't want it anymore. The Plot, no. So basically, I just acquired, apart from the ones I have highlighted already, I just acquired Normal People, and that was, I found it in a free library. That's why I bought it. But I really like this book. In terms of stationery, as you can see, it was pretty sparse. So I had these papers from years ago, and that's what I was going for. And then I just bought like this set of washi tapes, and I was like, and tacks. It's like, I'm more than ready to go. Let's go. Again, over the years, or even like throughout this year, 2022, you can see how different that's gonna look. And here I have my bookshelfie, which, like in hindsight, I really like. These are the different colors for the star rating of the different books I read that year in 2022. I remember this bookshelf. I started drawing the books, and somewhere maybe like along these first lines, I realized that it looked way too messy for me. I didn't like how it looked. So then what I ended up doing is just cutting the papers that related to the numbers, the star rating. I would cut them and paste them here, so it's all like pasted paper. But I think it looks kind of cool. Here, this thing is I'm laughing. Like I'm trying not to judge myself, right? Like I had fun doing this. Right now, this is the furthest. Like this bit, it just makes me cringe, but it's completely fine. At the time, it was completely fine. But these are all the days I read that year. So there's just like 3, that's annoying, 3 days that I didn't read in the whole of 2022. And then, let me move this. My goal was 52 books, and I ended up reading, if I'm not mistaken, 162. So I did very, very well. I completed the 52 books in June. And then what I did is I highlighted every month the different books I read every month. This I remember, I wanted this to look like a honeycomb. I don't think I achieved that, but there you go. And this is my TBR. So this is the list of books that I was interested in reading, and I have quite a few pages. This doesn't mean that I own the books in any way. It's just books that I've heard and that piqued my interest. And some of them, actually, I still have them on my TBR. So Caraval, for example, it was one, I read it this year, and it's because it got to the point where like I was so aware that that book had been on my TBR to be read for so long that I just needed to get on with it and read it. Same with Red Queen. So I tried to prioritize the ones that I've had since 2021 on my TBR list, or to be read list. Let me drink a little bit of coffee. Okay. These are stats that I did not feel. I see. This is every month of the year. Again, they're in Catalan. And I was meant to write how many books, audiobooks, and articles. Okay. I don't know why. But I was meant to put that in, and I didn't. I don't think I was studying at the time. I don't think I was doing my master's yet. Oh, maybe I was actually. I was doing my master's, probably. I don't remember, honestly. And then we have the book bracket. You might have seen this in different formats. This is something I did carry over to future journals, not in my current one, but yes, to 2023, 2024. And basically you just select January, what was my favorite month of January, what was my favorite book in January, and what was my favorite book in February, and they battle, and then you decide which one was the best of the two, and you do that for every single month of the year. You narrow them down. That's gonna give you 3 options at the end, and then it's going to give you the final option, which you will see later on, which was my favorite book. What was my favorite book for that year? There you go. Okay, not a lot of expectation there. This was my favorite book of 2022, Mary by Nat Cassidy. I just loved the book. I had so much fun, and it was scary, but it was also goofy, and it was also different. The main character, felt very different from anything else I had read, and yeah, I recommend Mary to absolutely everyone. I found the book very fascinating. And then turns out I just jumped to my book reviews, and I say book reviews with very loosely, right? Because they are not book reviews. I don't take it seriously. The reason why I started a reading journal is because I was very aware that I was reading a lot and I was forgetting plots. I was forgetting what books were about. So I just wanted to write down what was the plot of the book. So I want to make this very clear. All of these pages have spoilers of the books. I go pretty in depth when it comes to summarizing or explaining the plot. That's why I have a reading journal, so I can go back and remind myself what the book was about. I don't really review it in the sense of analyzing it and breaking it down. I feel like that would be too taxing. I do this as a hobby, so please do not read. These ones are in Catalan anyway, but after maybe like a month or so I switched to English, so please do not read because they are full of spoilers. So I started the book, January, with If I Had Your Face. I won't summarize all these books because there's a lot of them, but I just want to slightly comment on how I structure them, because again, at the beginning was very messy. So I had the book cover here, and then I had the title, I had the stars, and when I started it and when I finished it, and then I just had the summary of the book. And this one, for example, like went on forever. So yeah, that was 3 pages of just this one book, and I finished with 3 quotes. Okay, and then this was the second one, and okay, so it was sideways for some reason, and I was covering as well the title. As you can tell, like, this was never meant to be shown, as in I've never made this with the aim to share them with anyone, that they were my thing. But I think I've seen so many reading journal books now, and I've evolved so much that I'm ready to put them out there just so you can see as well how people can improve. So yeah, we have the same format though. Book cover, title, author, stars, and start finish day. And this one, it seems like it was just 2 pages, and we finish with some quotes. This one here was just 1 page. Then this one was 3 again. So there's not a lot of structure, which is completely fine. There's not a lot of a structure at this point, at least. I'm just gonna flip through and make any comments if I want to add something, but pretty much at the beginning is this nasty structure. Here at this point I started to get a little bit more stationary, and you will see that kind of helped. And it was pretty early on in the year. It's still January, but it really helped unlock my creativity. There's a little bit more structure to the pages. Okay, and then we have a cover page for February. These are the only bulky stickers. I don't like bulky stickers. I think it's the only time I've used them to mark these months. Not a fan of them because my journal bulks enough as it is. Oh, and at this point as well, I just picked up. So here yeah, up to here I was putting the stars. I was just writing 4 and a star, and then here I started with these star stickers, so it's more visual just to have them. Yeah, and I carried that over. Nope, that was not for me, this book. This was like 12 volumes. I just put them all in one page. I really like these letters, you know, these stamps. I like that. Here I have just an empty page, didn't know what to do, so I put some ephemera and called it a day. Didn't have much to say with this one, so I just put the title very big. And here I'm sticking a little bit to more of a structure, right? So I feel like it's 1 page or 2 pages per book rather than 3. 3 feels very random from where I'm sitting right now. This was a poem from this book I wanted to include. And yeah, I feel like here, around here, you start seeing more of my style at the time. Just me finding my style. New star stickers as well. This one's the second one of the series, and I started as well to indicate that it was part of a series with this label and what book it was. This was the book in Catalan. Actually, yeah, all of these I'm still doing all in Catalan, and this one in Spanish because the book was in Spanish. So I was writing up until here. So with Guild, I just found it difficult to translate because I read it in English. Most of my books I read in English unless they are from a Catalan or Spanish author. Otherwise I read in English, and so it's tricky to translate my thoughts to Catalan once I have read a book in English. So I just said, never mind, I'm gonna write the book in the language I read the book, basically. So English. This was a Catalan book, even though it's from John Steinbeck, but I had it in Catalan, so I read it in Catalan and I wrote in Catalan. Third book of the series, of the Plated Prisoner series. This is now a series, but I think at the time I didn't know it was. The House in the Cerulean Sea. This is my dog, Memphis. Again, this book I read in Catalan because I had a copy of Tokyo Blues in Catalan, so I wrote in Catalan, even though it's from Haruki Murakami and he's obviously not Catalan. And here we are in May, it seems. Okay, so I stopped doing this is the first one, right? So I stopped doing monthly cover pages, and this is May. I love this picture. Thank you. I remember I was in a little bit of a reading slump, and this book took me out of my reading slump. So that's why the thank you was there. I have fond memories. I don't really remember what the plot was about. I will need to read this, which is fine. But I do vividly remember it took me out of the reading slump. Let me get some coffee. I hope you're staying hydrated as well. Drinking some hot beverages perhaps, and just overall taking care of yourself and taking it easy. This is also part 1 of these violent divides, the lights, and book 1. I didn't specify what series. I know what series it is. Pretty sure it is my Violent Delights, this Violent Delight series, but I didn't write it down. nope, this was not for me either. This one I read in Catalan by a Catalan author, and I wrote it in Catalan. And then we are in June, so this is halfway through the year, and as you can see, I changed layout completely, so we're back to having a monthly page. So I really like how this looked, especially for being the first time I did something like this. Well, February I did it as well, actually, and if you compare, this was February and this was June, so it's different, and I can see that I tried to stamp something and then cover it up. And then I also, for the first time, drew a calendar that relates, and I colored it related to referencing the books read. So it goes in order, books read, you see. And then here, there's no cover page, there's no book cover for the read, so I just didn't want to print. I guess this is not printed, I rarely print, it's all stationery, so I guess I just wanted to save on ink, basically. And I stuck to the title, author, and rating, and that was it. I didn't include the book cover, and that's something I've been going back and forth throughout the year. Sometimes I print it, sometimes I don't. I've got to say I like it better. Looking back, I do like it better when the cover is printed. This is in Spanish because I read it in Spanish. And this one, Exciting Times, I loved it, 5 stars. I had a lot of things to say, so I also added this. And yeah, this is Normal People on Steroids. That's how I felt. I really like that one. Okay, and then I have a summer reads to be read list, and I was very successful, so I read them all throughout that summer, which I love it. I do love completing things. I am a completionist and I do take it seriously, so I'm glad. It's very satisfying for me to see it's completed. Then we have July, and I stuck to the calendar, and look at this. Wow. And the list of the 16 books I read, so that's why it's so tricky. I think at this point as well, some of these were audiobook and some of them were ebook / physical, so that's why in like these days I was reading 4 books. It's because probably I finished my ebook / physical book and started another one, and then I also finished my audiobook and I started another one, so that's why. And then here, there we go, I did divide it with books, as in ebooks and physical books and audiobooks, and I color in depending on the books I was reading on what format, so that made it more visually pleasing rather than having a day me finishing 4 books in a row and having different colors in that same day. I really like this spread, not so much the book, but the spread. I really love how this one turned out. Okay, and this is a list of autumn books again that I wanted to read, and this one is not as satisfying as the last one. I was not as successful. But let me see what I've read since, and this is 2022, so I have read now the Inheritance games. House of Leaves is still on my TBR, but I have made a challenge this year to, and I call it Bite the Bullet, which is basically like books that happen on my TBR forever, and it's just to encourage me to pick them up, because I think I have hyped them up in my head so much that I'm intimidated to pick them up. So I have put it already. I know when I'm gonna read it, because either it's a password readathon prompt, or a year of Goober prompt, or a year in Aldia prompt. I don't remember, but I do have a spot for this, and it will be read or DNF'd if I don't like it. They never learn, same, but I know when I'm gonna read it this year. But it's just ridiculous that it's still on my list of books to read currently. Atlas 6 read, great. Our Violin Ends, yes, I read it this same year. Ace of Spades read, and The Fine Print read. So okay, it's just these two that I haven't, but I have a plan for them, so that's good. Oh, and scary books. Okay, let's do the same. So Home Before Dark I have read. White is for Witching. Oh, this one I have not read. I know what month again. This year I'm gonna read it. It's all planned out. Lock Every Door I have read. Head Full of Ghosts read and loved. And Graveyard read. Okay, so not so bad. Just one, and there's a plan for me to read it this year. All right, and then September completely changes again. The layout. I don't know if I mentioned this at the beginning, but I journal about every single book I read. Don't know if I mentioned that, but I don't know why I just thought of it. Right, so this is September, and I started doing something different again, but I'm slowly like finding my feet. You know what I mean? Not so slowly. I feel like I was quickly finding my feet. So these are the ones that are physical or ebook, and these are the audiobooks. And I created my own library card. This month as well, I stuck with books and audiobooks, and I organized them like that, but it's very busy. I like it. Oh, and this is my first readathon I ever participated in. So it was Spooky Smart Beach Readathon, and it was hosted by Jordaline over in her Patreon. I'm pretty sure it was a Patreon exclusive. And these were the different prompts. And look, like, I love this page. I love all the images she chose. And then I wrote down all the books I read for the different prompts with their star rating. And there you go. This was a book club from Jordalines as well. First book club with Jordaline. There you go. This was another Jordaline book club. This is the end of volume 1. So volume 1 took me to January, the 1st of January 2022 until the 30th of September 2022. And then I migrated to the second journal, which is again exactly the same brand. This is it. Let me open her up. Okay, and I did like a very, I was about to say very simple cover page, but there's nothing simple about this. But yeah, a cover page. And this whole notebook took me from the 1st of October 2022, so it picked up where the yellow one left off, until the 28th of February 2023. So today I'll be showing you until the end of 2022, and then I'll make another video with the 2023 flip through, so keep an eye out for that. Alright, and we go kind of a little bit different as well with the October cover page. So I stuck with the same format of printing the books I listened and the books I've read and capturing them this way. No more calendars. And this is cute. This feels very October. Never mind, the calendars are here. This one I did not like, things we lost in the fire, and it shows. And this was also a reminder, DNF is self-care. I think here around this point is where I started to DNF books and not feel bad about it, just because I had this one and this one was a 2 stars, this one was a 2 stars. I should have DNF'd, and I think like maybe I had a little bit of a season of not so good books, or books that I was not necessarily enjoying, and yet I was finishing them, you know, I was not stopping and putting them away and picking another one up and moving on. Whereas now I don't have any issues not finishing books if I don't like them. There's so many good books out there that I want to pick up. Why would I have to read something I'm not enjoying? So I don't have any qualms about stopping a book and moving on to the next one. This was also a poem from this book, and it's part of a series. We have November here and all the different books I read. So here is what I read: Mary, my favorite book of the year. And of course at the time I didn't know it yet that November would hold such a special book for me. The calendar with the books and the audiobooks. And then we have the Mary spread, which I had to also like add a tip in to share my thoughts. And then we have December and all the different reads of that month, reading and listening. This was wrapping paper, so I just had it laying around and look how cute it was. And then we have December reads, which again very satisfying to see how I finished them. this is the last one, the gel bar, the bell jar. Pretty sure we finished the year, yeah, with Sylvia Plath. And then I have a yearly review, so very quickly, 162 books I finished that year, 50,000 pages, read 314 pages average length, and then the shortest and the longest ones, and then a little bit of review of how many books each month and what was the average star rating for each book as well. So that year my average star rating was 3.8, which I would love to increase, but it keeps being similar year on year, which is not too bad, but I would like it to be higher, you know. Okay, and then I printed all the books I read just to have them, and it's something that some years I do, some years I don't. I started doing it and then I think I just stopped. It felt a little bit redundant to have for me personally, but it's also good to see them, especially because a lot of them I don't have them, like I don't own the books, so it's just good to see the covers. And then this was all my 5 stars of the year, and I think I was meant to color it and stuff, and then I didn't, but it's fine. These are all my 5 stars. This I got from Pinterest. It's not my original idea. I'm not good at drawing anything, so yeah, it was not my idea. And there we go. This is the start of 2023. So I'm gonna stop it here. I will film next 2023 flip through. We'll pick it up here. But that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you have a reading journal. Let me know if you went through a similar journey of the first pages being very messy and then slowly finding your feet and finding your style. If you're hesitant, if you want to start a reading journal but you're hesitant, this is proof, I feel, that you're more than capable and that the beginning is perhaps not going to look as good as you want it to, but if you trust the process, you will improve. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you have a reading journal, if you're enjoying it, if you've read some of the books that I've shown. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to be kind to yourself.